Well, hello, folks out there in YouTube land. Got a big show lined up for you. All right, we're going to talk about GERALD, MINCEY, and JUDKINS have hit the portal, two big-time players, and we're going to talk about the real reason they transferred. I'm probably going to do a little update here on the transfer portal for my Vols as well, but let's get into this story. Now, first, I will tell you, it's a Friday. You know I got to work. I tried to rearrange my schedule with the boss man, but he didn't go along with it too well.
What we've got here is failure to communicate. Some men you just can't reach.
Yeah, he didn't appreciate my attitude. So anyway, I was stuck at work, so this is going to get out a little bit late. But anyway, we do have these two transfers. The first guy is QUINSHON JUDKINS, which I'm going to tell you something. This is a big-time player. He has been terrific for Ole Miss. He's been a two-time All-SEC first-teamer. Everybody's shocked by this, but the deeper you get into this, you find out it's not necessarily all about the money. This is on Outkick, and this is all over the media. Jackson Dart appears to use Tom Brady clip to slam Ole Miss running back. It talks about Jackson Dart. If you've watched Ole Miss, Dart is a very good player, and he's kind of a warrior out there. You can tell he's got a lot of moxie. And JUDKINS is a terrific running back. I'm really surprised by this. And he gave this long, lengthy thing about how much he's loved being there, etc. But it turns out the quarterback is not going to miss him. He posted a video of Tom Brady on his Instagram story. He says, man, if you're all about yourself, you might be amazing. I'd love to compete against you, and I'll show you that.
He was always like, man, if you're about yourself, you may be amazing. I would love to compete against you. Go play for the other team. Because when you're around a bunch of selfish people, and I've been around those, you know.
All right, that's about as direct as it gets. When your starting quarterback puts that out the day that you're transferring out, I think that's a pretty clear signal. And my understanding is this has been brewing for a while. And JUDKINS, who's a heck of a player, his numbers actually dropped a little bit this year in 2023. And I'm thinking there was some real dissension in the troops, and maybe JUDKINS was a problem because that's pretty direct right there. I wouldn't even call that cryptic. And the writer says, if that's a coincidence that he put that out the same day, it might be the most unlikely coincidence of the year. What's more likely is there's a lot of stuff going on behind closed doors the public doesn't know about. And he said Jackson Dart wouldn't have rushed to social media to post a video like this unless there was much more to the story. And I'm sure over time we're going to hear about this. And it may have been partially about money, but it sounds to me like there was a lot of this going on. And that can happen when you have a player that just comes out of nowhere. This was a 3-star dude that's been playing like a 5-star. And he may have decided, look, I'm kind of the key to the team. And, you know, they brought in a lot of these guys and had to pay them a lot of this to get them in, like Walter Nolan, for example. They brought in Tennessee's Tyler Barron, cornerback. I mean, they brought in a bunch of players, and he may have thought, well, you got money for them. How about me?
Where's my money? Yeah, you got money to pay for fake mustaches, huh?
That's right, you got money for fake mustaches. Where's my money, man? So it could be a combination of that, but it sounds like Dart's pretty glad he's gone. And that can happen. Look, one of the things about Ole Miss bringing in all these transfer portal guys is it's going to cause all kinds of problems with guys that are already there that may be like, hey, if Nolan got $1 million or $2 or $3 million bucks to come here, hey, I've been down here working hard for you. And that's one of the things about the portal we talked about is that it's going to be really tricky for Lane Kiffin to keep all those egos squared away because understand you've brought in guys that are all about the Benjamins. You know, they're kind of mercenaries, you know, for hire. So don't expect them to have a ton of loyalty to Ole Miss. And don't expect your guys that have been loyal to you to be thrilled by having these guys come in and they're getting way more money than them. That I'm just telling you, I've been on a team. I know how this stuff works. Granted, it wasn't about money, but people can be funny about newcomers. So you can have a lot of dissension like that. Now, I don't know if that's what's caused this with JUDKINS. It may have been all year long, but when your all SEC running back leaves and your quarterback says, good riddance, that's not a good sign. Now, of course, most of y'all have probably heard GERALD, MINCEY has entered the transfer portal. He said he would return in 2024, but remember, the NCAA changed the rules. You can transfer more than once now. And I did a video on this, and I told you folks, that's going to change everything. And it really has. A guy can leave for any reason, And he doesn't have to sit out a year if he transferred already, which this fella did. MINCEY transferred from Florida after his freshman year and came up and played for us for 2 years. But now we're going to get into the real reason why he transferred. He was a left tackle before John Campbell came in, and they moved him from left tackle to right tackle. Everybody wants to play left tackle. That's where the money is long-term in the NFL. And MINCEY was playing well there, and they needed another tackle. Well, Campbell would only come in if he played tackle because that's all he'd ever played. So MINCEY, I guess, sort of agreed to move to right tackle. Maybe he was kind of forced to, but he didn't like it over there too much, and he wasn't as successful. And he didn't seem to have the same oomph that he had when he was at left tackle. And we're going to find that out all throughout trying to bring in offensive linemen, that they may have a position they really like, and tackle is one of the big ones. We're also going after a guy by the name of Zalance Hurd, who is a 5-star out of LSU. He will be a sophomore next year, and he's a guy that would be a great pickup, but he probably only wants to play left tackle because that's what he's used to, and that's what he played at LSU. And if you try to move him to right tackle, he may not transfer. Now we've got another guy we're interested in, which is Diego Pounds, which is a great name for a tackle, Pounds. And he's very good out of North Carolina. He actually had a Pro Football Focus rating of 74.0, which is very good. Plays left tackle, though, not right tackle. Nobody wants to play right tackle. Now, there's also another guy that's coming in, I believe he's here this weekend, Armaj Reed Adams out of Kansas. Now, this is a guy that's played guard and tackle, and we need a guard and a tackle. So I think this is the guy we're probably going to get to commit to us, maybe even this weekend, because he can kind of fit 2 positions. But we need 2 offensive linemen. With MINCEY going out, we already needed 1 anyway. So now we need 2. Now, if we could pick up Adams, that'd be a great pickup for us. And like I said, he could just fit either one. But I think he's more of a guard body, and you prefer to find a guy that's a pure tackle to fill that right tackle position. Now, whether or not they could get Campbell to move from left to right, I don't know. If that could work out, then you could get a multitude of guys. And MINCEY wouldn't even left. But it is what it is. But that is the reality. A lot of times people leave for other reasons. It may not be about money. It may be the position they're playing. It may be they're not getting the respect they want. I don't think Judkins was solely about money at all. That's pretty obvious. And I don't think MINCEY's was about money either. I think they had other reasons that may long-term have something to do about money. But MINCEY wanting to play left tackle is pretty obvious. You know, that's where the big money is in the NFL. And that's the premium position. We also have some other players coming in. We need help in the defensive backfield. We know that. We've got a guy by the name of Jalen McMurray out of Temple, and he was a freshman All-American second team in 2022 and plays the cornerback position. I think he would be a real nice fit for us, and I know the Vols are very interested in him. And he's got good size at 6 foot 180, so that would be a nice fit for us. Also got another guy by the name of Aiden White out of North Carolina State. He's a 2-time All-SEC player, and he's 6 foot 190 and has been a very productive defensive back. And he actually went 482 snaps without allowing a touchdown, which is a record on Pro Football Focus. So that would be another guy that would be a nice pickup for us. So we are out there in the transfer portal trying to help our offensive line, trying to help our defensive backfield. And that's really where we need to focus and need to spend money. It just boils down to that. I don't think we're ready on the offensive line, especially with MINCEY leaving, to go into next year with a bunch of young guys. We don't need to do that when we've got Nico sitting there ready to ball out. We need to protect him. We saw that in the Citrus Bowl. He had 6 sacks. That can't happen. We have got to spend some money on the offensive line, and we got to get some big dogs in there that are ready to go. We've already got some great freshmen that came in this year, but I don't want to put freshmen out there. I want to put guys out there that are ready to go. So I think there's going to be a big emphasis on that and also the defensive backfield. And I did want to do a little update and talk about all those key positions, talk about some of those key transfers. If you've not subscribed, it's on your right, my left. Just hit this little button. I'd appreciate it. Cost you nothing. Would help me out. And right over here's most recent video YouTube thinks you'll enjoy based on your viewing history. And we'll see you next time on Sports Talk Jay.